I think the lessons of history are so important, right? And I'll tell you that as Americans, we're not always taught geography very well. We certainly don't know our history as well as we need to. If we did, I don't think we'd be kind of in the pickle that we find ourselves in so often. For instance, physicians are not always the champions of good, right? More often than not, they've been parts of the problem. I remember seeing this wonderful documentary recently that talked about how when one of the most important changes in the American medical institution was being debated, and that's Medicare, the establishment of Medicare. President Johnson was trying to get that passed. And who was opposing him in that effort? It was the American Medical Association. It was physicians who were more concerned about their own self-interest, what they could charge for visits, right? More concerned about that than they were about their patients. Right. And so I think it's just important that we just always remember who we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to be about, right? One of the very first patients I saw in medical school, I saw with the physician, and I was shadowing this physician. He happened to be an internist. And we walked in the patient's room in the hospital. And before we walked in, the physician said to me, "Now, watch out, this is kind of a salty guy." I'm like, "Oh, salty guy, what does that mean?" So we walk in, and almost immediately they started getting into this huge shouting match, back and forth, right? And I remember thinking, what the heck is going on, right? This seems so wrong. It felt so wrong, right? And then finally, the physician said, if that's your attitude, there's nothing going to be able to help you, Fred. He goes, "Well, fine, I'll just find myself a new doctor." "Well, fine, okay. And so, "Come on, let's go." Okay, so we left the room. And I'll tell you, as we did so, I don't think anyone felt good about that. I know the patient didn't. The doctor continued to fume for another few minutes after that. And I felt horrible having witnessed this traumatic event. And it was then that I established my rule, my simple rule. And that is, to the best of my ability, my patients will feel better after my visit. It's a very simple rule, but that's how I know I'm doing a job. If my patient feels better after my visit, then I know I'm doing a good job, because isn't that what doctors are supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to help people feel better.
Yep.
So that's my advice, is just remember the simple beauty of why you became a physician, right? You want to help people, you want to make them feel better. And so just do that.
Right.
And you'll do well. It's served me well these past few years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.